Hey, I wanted to show you today how we're using GPT-4 for some real world examples of getting our work done and how to have a little fun. So let's get started. I'm using GPT-4. This is the paid version. And I started a new chat here and I selected GPT-4 model, which is the more advanced version. So one of the things we do is customer research. And when we're doing customer research, we're helping our customers or clients figure out who their prospective customers are, what are their concerns. So we're a marketing agency. So one of the prompts that we recently tested, and it seemed to be very effective, was for a moving company that we work with, and they were trying to better summarize the concerns that prospective customers of theirs would have about moving from one home to another. And obviously they're facilitating that move, the moving company is. So I created this prompt. What are the top 10 things people worry about when they are moving from one house to another? Now, just to be clear, you could use any prompt for worry about. For example, what are the top 10 things people worry about when they are selecting an estate planning attorney or when they are selecting a dentist? Now, the reason we say worry is we're trying to better understand people's fears and then address those in the marketing copy and website that we design. So let's go ahead and enter this prompt and see what we get back. So you can read it on the screen there. It says it can be stressful, of course. First thing is budget and costs, timing and scheduling, packing and unpacking, damage or loss of belongings, other things not related necessarily to the actual act of moving, but just more related to moving from one household to another. So we use this information then to help our client figure out the best messaging to address the particular issues in here that they would be concerned about. For example, budget and costs. Maybe they could say, we give you a firm quote. Okay, that's going to ease my mind with respect to the costs. Timing and scheduling, we have a 1 hour window that we schedule people for. So there's a number of things you could show, packing and unpacking. You could actually show pictures on your website of your people packing and or unpacking things. You could also have maybe a damage insurance or something like that. So this is a great way to use ChatGPT to better understand your customer and especially or your prospective customer and the things that are worrying them. So the next thing that we use ChatGPT for is summarizing podcasts. So we have a podcast. So we use a plugin here called Ask PDF. So I've enabled this plugin in this session, and it's just a free plugin. It's called Ask Your PDF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a transcript of my podcast, a recent podcast that I recorded with Chris Goldman. I'm going to drop it in here. So now what happened was this Ask Your PDF created a link that now we can use in ChatGPT. So normally this transcript would be too long for ChatGPT to use. So we've used Ask Your PDF to create basically a document that now ChatGPT can use. So you copy the document ID, you just click here. So it's been copied. And now I go over to ChatGPT and I just type in a prompt such as, acting as a marketing expert, write a 750 word summary of the attached or of the following file. Boom. So now I'm just going to paste in that link, and here we go. So it's going to analyze that document and then create the summary that I was asking for. So now you can see it's accessing Ask Your PDF. And we've used this to summarize our podcasts and create blog posts and other materials associated with that, emails, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure why it's taking so long to do this today. Maybe it was a tall order for today. There we go. So there we go. So this is a transcript of a conversation between Pete and Chris Goldman. Talks about who we are, and then it actually listed out the key takeaways for this one, which was the importance of repeat business. And this was talking about increasing customer lifetime value. So you can see repeat business is a way to do that. Raising rates is a way. Upselling and bundling. We talked about authenticity, upgrading customers, and then some other things. So this took a 20-minute conversation and condensed it down into this very concise summary that we could use as a blog post. We could use it in email. We could attach it to the podcast as part of the page associated with this podcast episode, for example. So it's very helpful to do that, especially if you're producing a lot of content. You can also use it just to take a transcript of a conversation you've had in a meeting, then just say, summarize the output of this meeting or the takeaways. Give me the takeaways of this meeting, and it will do that for you. Now, the last example is a little more fun. Was recently traveling in Italy with my family, and I was preparing for the trip, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss some of the highlights in Florence, Italy. So I wrote a prompt that said, what sites in Florence, Italy would you recommend to my wife and I with the visit with our two 26-year-old, so adult children? One's 25, one's 27. So I gave it a little context of what I was looking for. And obviously you could do a Google search on this too, but it's nice just to get a quick summary list, and then you can check it with the other information that you've been looking at. So the Uffizi Gallery, amazing. We went there. The cathedral, the Duomo, went there. Ponte Vecchio, which is the bridge. Boboli Gardens, Accademia. This is where the Michelangelo's David is. Piazza Michelangelo, which is on the hill. And it looks like it even gave us a wine tour in Chianti as a bonus. So this was really helpful. And, you know, it's not going to do all your travel planning for you, but it can help you just quickly summarize your thoughts, especially if you've been doing research online. And I had been doing a lot of research, listening to Rick Steves and a bunch of YouTube videos about traveling to Italy. And everything just kind of got a little jumbled up in my mind. And I just wanted to get a clear reminder of the points that I, had to go see, must visit sites. And this worked. So this was very helpful. If you're using ChatGPT these days, I'd love to hear some uses that you're using it for, how you're using it. Let us know. Shoot me an email, info@bizmarketing.com. Thanks.